The Defence Minister remains confident that there's no risk to AUKUS despite America's decision to slap 25% tariffs on Aussie steel and aluminium, putting our relationship with the US in sharp focus today. Let's get straight to our political reporter, Olivia Casely. Good morning, Olivia. Defence Minister Richard Marles spoke on our program just a little bit earlier. He says this alliance is still strong. Talk us through what else he said this morning.
Well, I think it's fair to say that the Trump administration's decision to slap Australian steel and aluminium with tariffs of up to 25% has sparked broader questions about the strength of the alliance and partnership between Australia and the United States. Obviously, the Albanese government had hoped to secure a carve-out when it comes to those economic sanctions. It's something that the former Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, had previously achieved. And we did see that enormous disappointment from the government yesterday, really strong language from the likes of the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, and also the Foreign Minister, Penny Wong, describing these tariffs as completely unjustified and no way to treat an ally or friend. In that context, though, there is this broader question about other defence and strategic partnerships such as the AUKUS Pact. So this is the nuclear submarine pact that Australia has with the United Kingdom, I should say, as well as the United States. As part of that, Australia would receive nuclear submarines. It's all about shoring up the security of the Indo-Pacific. It was put to the Defence Minister Richard Marles earlier whether, given these economic sanctions, that particular strategic partnership is in jeopardy, and he said no.
America remains committed to AUKUS. We saw that in the meeting that I had with my counterpart, Secretary Pete Hegseth, which was the first meeting that he had with any of his counterparts in the world a few weeks ago in Washington. And it's not surprising because the AUKUS arrangement is obviously in the interests of Australia, but it's in the interests of the United States.
So the government, they're clearly trying to draw a distinction between economic decisions being made by the Trump administration as well as strategic ones. Ultimately, we know that there is an election around the corner. Politics is at play here. We've seen the opposition leader, Peter Dutton, essentially saying that if he'd been at the helm, he would have been able to secure a carve-out on these economic tariffs. But as we know, no country in the world is exempted from these blanket tariffs. I do think in light of these developments over the past 24 hours, how Australian leaders deal with the Trump administration will become a much bigger focus of the federal election campaign.